Hey, how's it going? My name's Jamie. The name of my channel is Jame and Flame. The best part about that is we get to work with fire. We get to set things on fire. It's really cool. I've got a gadget here. This is a gift from a subscriber. Well, that's partially true. He is a subscriber, but he's also a lifelong friend. We've been good friends since, oh my gosh, we were 5 years old. So what's that, like 25 years? No, I'm just kidding. He better be a subscriber. I'll drive all the way out to Seattle, Washington and kick his skinny. So this is a well, it's a Twig stove. It's a Twig stove. The name brand is Ohuhu. Ohura. No, that can't be right. Ohuhu. But we're going to try this out. So I'm going to kill two birds with one stone here. We're going to do a little bit of a review on this Twig stove. And in the process, we're going to make my wax fire starters. What we're going to be using an egg carton. And it's got to be the cardboard kind. I've got birch bark. If you all see my videos, I've got like tons of birch bark. And it's the big sheets of birch bark. I mean, these are like massive. I also have some cattail duff, okay, which I'm going to use as well. This stuff goes everywhere, and when you ignite it, it just lights up like a firecracker. So we're going to use some of that as well. So let's get started. Oh, and I've also got wax. These are cheap candles. You can buy them at the dollar store. If you just have some old leftover candles, it doesn't matter if they're white, red, pink, green. So all I've done is put some birch bark in there with some really dry twigs. And then what I'll do is just keep feeding it with some kindling. Wow, that seems to be working really well because the fire almost went out before I put that kindling in there, and it ramped right back up. So that's a good sign. So all I've done is taken the candles and put them in a little pot here. I just use this pot for crafts. I don't really use it for cooking or eating or anything like that. And mostly I use it for melting wax for these things. So we're gonna get that going. So now that fire is almost out. Let's see how fast it takes to get back. Yeah, and there it is. It's coming back. That's pretty good. So far, so good. Like the wax is melting pretty good. So far so good. That little Twig stove keeps everything going inside there. The fire went out a couple of times and I just fed a few fresh twigs in there, or a few fresh splinters of kindling, and it came right back. So that's a very good sign. Looks like it's all been melted. So we're going to take that off the heat here. We're going to set the stove aside, and we'll get to putting this little wax fire starter together here. Okay, so that wax is hot. We're going to let that wax cool just a bit, and that's key. You don't want the wax to be too hot. It'll go right through the egg crate or the egg carton, and it'll be a mess. So we're going to let it cool for just a bit. that wax is cooling down pretty good. We're going to try to pour some of that in, see what happens. You don't want it to seep through. So that looks like it's staying there and it's not seeping through the bottom. So there you have the liquid wax in the container. It does not seem to be seeping through the egg carton very much at all, maybe just a little bit. Well, that's okay though, it'll seal itself, it should anyway, as it cools. So we'll just let that cool for a little while longer. All right, we're gonna crumple up and tear up and rip up a bunch of this birch bark, and we are just going to put it in there. Don't worry if it gets totally immersed in there, that's okay. We're just going to do one little layer. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you might want to think about doing that. We've got some neat ideas coming up. You don't want to miss some of this stuff. I'm going to be doing some more camping, of course, and some more crafty type things. So if you get the chance, hit that old subscribe button. It sure would help me out. I appreciate it. Now we're just going to put this birch bark in, and we want a bunch of it sticking up, okay? Because when we go to light this thing, we'll be able to light it with a ferro rod. And you can take a little bit more of that wax if you want, and pour some more in there. Fill up some of the chambers. Just solidify that birch bark in there. That's perfect. So now we've got some of this duff from these cattails. And we're going to just push some of that in there. And when we put a spark on this stuff, that's when it's going to go up. And that will hopefully help ignite the birch bark. And we'll be in business. There you have it. So now when that dries and that wax all solidifies in there, then you can just break those apart and use them individually. They will ignite really easily. They should, with just a spark. So thanks everybody for watching.